All right, boys, how is it going? Today we have a new video. This time I'll be reviewing an Xbox controller, an original Xbox controller. This episode is going to be MadCatz, the MadCatz original Xbox controller. This is a special edition one, but it's literally the same controller, the same that you know. If you ever own an Xbox, an original Xbox, you probably owned one of these bad boys. It's literally the same model. The conches are just different. This one is like a special NBA edition, but it's literally the same controller. It's MadCatz, as you can see. And, you know, let's just go ahead and review it. Okay, guys, so first test that we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the controller to my PC, and we're gonna use a website developed by one of my chatters, one of my moderators actually, Demo. It's a really great website. I will actually link it down in the description so you can actually use it as well. However, very important, for this website you're gonna need one of these bad boys. This is basically an adapter for the OG Xbox controller. So you plug this in the PC and it will show up. You're probably gonna have to do some like driver config before actually using the website, but don't worry, I will link everything in the description. So this is how the website looks like. So what exactly we're looking at, this is the controller, and when you start moving the thumbstick, it draws a red line, right? So it tells you where you're pointing the stick at. This is very, very good because you can see how good or how badly your controller is maxing out. And let's try and test the max dead zones in this thing first. So what I'm gonna do is literally just go full circles. It's not looking really good down right, if you notice that. However, it should be fine since it's outside the circle. Even though it doesn't look like a perfect circle, we're still maxing out just fine. So that was dead zones, right? So it's maxing out to every single direction, so that's good. That's a good thing. Now let's try the wiggling test. This is mainly for stick drift. So what you do is literally you grab the thumbstick and start wiggling like this. So it should be inside the inner circle. You notice that inner circle? As you can see, there's no stick drift in this bad boy whatsoever. The stick is firm, super firm. Love to see that. You love to see that. That's pretty freaking good. That's really, really good. All right, let's move on to the next test. All right, so here we are. This is Test Launch. It's an application you can download. I'm probably gonna link it in the description. So first of all, you see you have a left stick X and left stick Y. So right now I'm just pressing all the way forward. It's really good. 3276.7 means that it's maxing out, fully maxing out. It should be one more when you do it all the way down. So 3276.8, that's pretty good. It's maxing out. It's clearly maxing out. Now let's go right. Same values. That's pretty good. Now let's go left. So as you can see, it's actually working really, really well. We already knew that, but I just wanted to show you this application where you can also press the buttons and see how well they are responding. All right, let's go ahead and actually test the controller. You know, the A button is not too bad for mashing. This controller feels like it's never going to fail maxing out. Like never. Like every time you tap the thumbstick, you're gonna get a dash every single time. It feels like that. I kind of feel like this controller would have a lot of backdashing, or not backdashing, sorry, but snapback. We can actually test that later. The D-pad is ass. It's ass. It's ass. Oh my god, the D-pad is so like hard to register. Look at that. I'm trying to press it. I'm trying to press it. You have to press it really hard, dude. I feel like, oh my god, I don't know. I feel like if I got used to this controller, I would like improve a lot. Just because I think it's like way more sensitive. Like you can do crazy angles. I feel like. I'm gonna go for Spitfire, dude. Why not? Did I just fucking got it? What? It must be a coincidence. It must be a coincidence, dude. I think it was very, very common. I think this controller was very common. I remember it. I never owned one, but I remember it. Some of my friends had it. Alright, GG's. What do we do now? Okay, I'm gonna test the snapback first of all. It actually looks... Okay, there it turned. It turned around. Okay, there it turned around again. But it doesn't feel like it's gonna happen a lot. Unless you actually go for a really, really, really hard, like, press. But when you're tapping, it doesn't look like it's ever going to do that. Unless... Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, it looks a little bad. Looks a little bad. Because sometimes you have to, like, tap. Like, a little bit like this. When you're spraying graffiti, you want to do that sometimes. Let's run the quick saves. You have to make this jump a lot of times in the run. And sometimes, mostly when it's like 0 beat, you're not gonna be able to make this jump just because you're not getting the dash. Let's do 5 in a row. I can say that, you know, the garage jump test has been passed. So motor jump is when you spray this tag and then you blindly jump here. And for that you actually need like as much speed as possible. So let's go ahead and do a couple. That's really good. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, that's a pass. Completely pass this test. For heli skip, you don't actually need dashes. You don't need them, but it's always good to get them. So usually, after spraying this extra large, you don't get a dash. Usually, and we didn't get it. We didn't get it. The start button placement is really weird. This time I got it. Okay. That's a 3 out of 4. That's pretty good. Okay. So final thoughts on this controller. I mean, okay, after playing with it for a while, I believe it feels really, really good. I just feel like you get with the dead zone, kind of like with the kind of dead zone that this controller has, I just feel like you can go for different angles that you cannot go on a S-type controller. In the beginning, I was not very fond of the buttons that are hard to press. They're really hard to press, but the travel distance feels shorter. It feels like a shorter travel distance, which also means that you can mash harder or faster. I really like that, and they're very responsive buttons as well. The triggers are different as well, but I don't mind them. They feel kind of funny, but I don't mind them at all. What I don't like about the controller, however, is the D-pad. The D-pad is really hard to press. Not only that, but I feel like it doesn't have the same travel distance as these other buttons. It's very hard to register, and for JSRF, you really need a good D-pad, because mostly we use the D-pad for menuing, and we do really quick inputs that you cannot do if you're just trying to trying to press the button really hard. So overall, I think it's a very solid controller. I think it's something special. If you're actually like considering maybe, you know, playing JSRF or any other Xbox game at a decent level, I think this is a solid controller. Also, I forgot to mention some, you know, negative points is the button placement, especially the start and select buttons. They're like under the controller, like under the conch. And that makes it really hard to press. Overall, really solid controller. Pretty good. I would say pretty good. If it was not for the D-pad, I would probably switch to this controller. That's how good it is. So yeah, anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you actually really enjoyed this. I'm gonna keep making these series because I actually got plenty controllers. So who knows, maybe I'll be reviewing your favorite controller. Alright, see you next time. Thanks for watching.